So in today's video, I'm here to give you the 3 teams that I think are going to get relegated from the Championship this season and will of course be playing League One football next year. This is my updated prediction video. I made a video at the start of the season and let's just say I was made to look a little bit stupid because I did predict that Blackburn and also Watford were going to get relegated, and yeah, both sides are competing for those playoff positions. At the moment, 30 games have been played in the Championship for sides that currently sit 24th all the way to 17th in the league. 7 points actually is the difference between 22nd place Derby County and 17th place Swansea. So all the teams from 17th and below I'm going to talk about in today's video. But if you was to ask me right now which 3 teams I think will be playing League One football next year, I would tell you Derby County, Plymouth and also Cardiff. But let's start off by talking about 17th place Swansea, who currently have 34 points. At the moment, Swansea are not doing well. They have slid down that Championship table. The Championship is a fun league. A couple wins and then you're competing for those playoff positions. But then if you go winless in 6 league games, exactly like Swansea have done, you then fall right down to those relegation places in the league. Swansea, for me, have got to improve on their home form. But the way they like to play their football, I feel like they just concede so many goals. They're playing out from the back, the passing system. Yes, it could be pretty when it does eventually work, but I just don't think Swansea actually have the players to do that. Losing Matt Grimes to go to Coventry was a big loss. Yes, they did replace him with Lewis O'Brien on loan from Nottingham Forest for the short term, but with the way Swansea like to play, I just don't think there's a plan B. I don't see them scoring enough goals. I do think there's enough in that team to stay up this season, but if they continue with their current form, they could be in big trouble. Moving on to 18th place Stoke, who currently have 32 points. I feel like having Mark Robins as your manager, I feel like that is more than enough to keep you up in the Championship. He's so experienced, especially at this level. I feel like he's got that ability to keep Stoke up. Of course, losing Tom Cannon, who was recalled back by Leicester and ended up signing for Sheffield United. As a replacement, they brought in Al Hamadi, who I think is a great signing. He could be the one to hopefully be clinical in front of goal. If they go back to doing the basics correctly, defending their set pieces, winning battles in the air, being clinical in front of goal, they will stay up. I don't see Stoke going down, but at the moment they're in the conversation. They are also another side that need to improve on their home form. Win your home games, you're most likely going to stay up in the league. Moving on to Cardiff, the team that I actually think will get relegated. Why do I think they're going to get relegated? Well, at the moment they're on 31 points. I just look at the Cardiff team and I just don't think there's enough in that side that can actually help them stay up in the division. Of course, recently they have lost 7-0 to Leeds, but before that they did go 7 games unbeaten. There is potential to stay up, but I just look at their quality. I feel like they lack Championship experience. They also lack goals. Robinson has been vital for Cardiff, scoring 11 goals. But the second highest goal scorer is on 3 goals. That's not enough. And I also felt their January transfer window was poor as well. I don't think they took full advantage of the window. So out of all the sides around them in the table, I just think they have one of the weakest squads. Next up, Portsmouth currently sit 20th in the Championship with 30 points. I actually think Portsmouth will stay up. Only if they improve their defence. They've conceded the second amount of goals in the league. They have tried to improve this particular area by bringing in Atkinson and also Isaac Hayden to the football club. I did feel like they took advantage of the January transfer window by bringing in a few additions. I do think they've got experienced players for the level that can help them grind out results. Ritchie, Murphy, Pack, Bishop, Hayden, as I've already mentioned. I think going forward, Portsmouth can also create loads of problems. Having Colby Bishop back is a massive help. I think if given the opportunities, he can be really clinical. So overall, I think Portsmouth are okay. If they can pick up a couple more wins away from home, I know away from home hasn't been the greatest, but I do think Fratton Park, they can grind out results, especially at home. But if they can pick up a couple points away, that will also help them out as well. Moving on to a team that probably had the best January transfer window in Hull. I can't believe the players they managed to bring to the club in January. Bringing in Carl Joseph, Louis Barry, Matt Crooks. bringing in young, hungry talent, experienced players in the Championship. I feel like going forward, Hull had a lot of problems attacking wise. They were getting into these areas but not being clinical in front of goal, and I do think they tried to address that by bringing in the likes of Carl Joseph, Louis Barry and Matt Crooks. Ruben Selles, for me, he's got decent results under his belt already, getting important wins against Millwall and Sheffield United. As I've already mentioned, if they start being clinical in front of goal, they will just climb up that Championship table. For me as well, Ruben Selles, I actually think is a really good manager. The way he handled the situation at Reading, I thought was fantastic, and under financial backing at Hull, I do think he can take them to the next level and maybe next year be competing for those playoff positions, because right now they're building quite a good squad. Moving on to Derby, they currently sit 22nd in the Championship. They're on 27 points. As I'm recording this video, an hour ago they actually sacked Paul Warne, which, you know, is a bold decision to make, especially 24 hours before a league game and also straight after a January transfer window. They've lost 8 games in a row. I don't think many managers in modern day football keep their job if you lose 8 league games in a row. I don't think Derby fans have rated Paul Warne since being at the football club. He did what was asked from him by getting them back to the Championship and dealing with the aftermath of the ownership issues and being under new ownership, but the way Derby play at the moment, it's not attractive. He keeps changing the system away from home. They're not very good away from home. I just look at their squads, look at the January transfer window, they missed out on a few key targets. They've managed to bring in Matt Clark, who is a good Championship player, but the rest are just unproven in the Championship, and I just feel like the same with Cardiff. Other teams just have a better squad than they do. But who's going to be the next Derby manager? That is going to be absolutely massive. If they can bring in a proven Championship manager who can grind out results, then they might have a chance. But I just feel like they're going to be playing League One football next year. Moving on to the best team in the Championship. That is right, 23rd place, Luton Town. Yep. I don't know how we've ended up here, but 27 points. We should be doing better with the squad of players which we've got. We're underperforming massively. However, I do think we had a good January transfer window. I do think we've managed to solve a few missing qualities that we had missing before the window was open. We've managed to bring in creative players. We've managed to bring in a bit of pace, a bit of leadership, a bit of Championship experience, a striker, and as long as we can start scoring goals and winning games of football, then we've got no problems in staying up. But truthfully, I do think all it's going to take is a win under Matt Bloomfield. We are yet to win under the new boss. Once we get that win, once we get that confidence, I do think it will kickstart a good run of form. The squad is there at Luton. It needs to just figure out a way to win games of football, and once it figures itself out, hopefully we can stay clear of the bottom 3. But time is running out. And to end the video, we're going to talk about Plymouth. I do think the damage has already been done. They sit in the table with 25 points. They're not miles away from it. But I just don't think there is enough proven players that can play at this current level. Don't think there's enough experience. I think losing Whittaker and Gibson in the window was massive. I think for them, under their current boss, rebuild next season in League One and go again. Unfortunately, I think the ownership at Plymouth, I do think they're trying to make the right decisions, but I think they've made a couple of the wrong ones, and they are paying the price for it. The players Plymouth brought in the January transfer window, I've got so many question marks over. They might do well. When you bring in players from overseas, they're not guaranteed to hit the ground running. It is a massive risk. I wanted Rooney to do well, but it just hasn't worked the way I think they were hoping for. But I just don't think Plymouth have got enough in their team to stay up this season. So overall, the 3 teams that I think are going to be relegated from the Championship this season are Cardiff, Derby and Plymouth. Let me know down in the video comments which 3 teams you think are going to get relegated from the Championship and will be playing League One football next year. That is the end of the video. Drop a like. As I've already said, let me know down below your thoughts on who's getting relegated. Also let me know your thoughts about the video. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. If you want to become a member on my channel, the link is in the description below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.